to you. Good morning, darling B. Good morning to you.
Good
Yay.
morning.
Good morning.
Let me turn. No, I want to turn off my internet. I want to turn my speaker down. Okay. LizzAnn FaceTimed me last night. Her and her grandson. He's so stinking
cute.
He is. And he got right up in the camera. And I'm like, hey, you got glasses like mine. And so anyway, she said they're having to bring it down little by little. And but she started out with strep throat. And she didn't feel good. Look who's here. Go ahead.
Who? I don't see anybody.
You don't see Mama Kay?
Mama Kay?
Yeah.
Good morning, Mama Kay. Good morning to you. Good morning, Mama Kay. Good morning to you.
Are you popped out chat or are you just
Yeah, I'm popped out and I'm on live.
That's whose show, you guys, I was on last night. But all right, so LizzAnn said they're having to bring her sugar down low. Mama Kay, I'm talking about LizzAnn. LizzAnn, what's LizzAnn's? She just
LizzAnn Fines.
Yeah, LizzAnn Fines. Her granddaughter's sugar went up to 1,500. She started out with strep throat, and she was so dehydrated, and they had her on antibiotics, and she was still throwing up and dehydrated. And then all of a sudden, because of the way she looked, they took her to the hospital, and good thing they did, because that's what was going on. So it's going to be a life change with all of them. Even her last night, Liz had her. And the baby had to be airlifted. Had to be airlifted. It was that bad. So my friend Liz is watching the brother, and she did FaceTime me last night, and he was getting him some tea, and she said, now you can have it now, but we're going to have to start cutting back on the tea. And she was explaining, she said, well, we'll do a half and half. And he said, half water and half tea. And she said, well, no, half sweet, half unsweet, until you get down to where you get used to unsweet tea. And I mean, that's all I drink.
Yeah, me too.
But then she got to talk about other things and got his mind, shifted, because she updated me without him hearing. And of course, then he gets in the camera, and then he sees Bailey. Keaton gets Bailey acting crazy, my puppy, and Bailey's all up in it, and he's just fascinated. So he's a trooper. And she said that her 9-year-old granddaughter is actually like an adult. Hey, is this the same 5-speed accountability?
Yep. Good morning to 5-speed. Good morning to you. Good morning to 5-speed. Good morning to you.
Let me tell you, last night I was on with Mama Kay, and now Mama Kay, what's your mama's name? What's your mama's name on her channel? Because but I was on their jewelry auction, and there was a few in there, and I stepped away long enough to set up this broadcast, and as soon as I set it up, you guys, 5-speed left a message, because he said he'd be working, and I'm like, oh, it touched my heart. It touched my heart that as soon as he seen it pop up, he left them. Yeah, J-Cat is her mom. And they asked, are you the one that sings? I'm like, whoa, Traci does the singing. And Casey does the singing. I said, come on. See, Traci, I told you They just come on to hear you sing.
Oh, that's not true. That's not true. That's just a good welcome, and then they enjoy the rest of the conversation too.
They come on, see my nose wrinkle up when I smile. Oh, you guys, I laughed. Excuse me, my telephone. I am online. I am connected to. Oh no, you are not. Okay, I don't need you. There you go. I don't need you. Yes, I was on theirs last night, and I laughed, you guys. I couldn't guess nothing right, and so me and Selena, we were just all over the place. So then they were doing. Oh, what do you call it? Where you draw stuff. You have to guess what's being drawn. Picture.
Oh, like yeah.
Yeah.
Like Pictionary type.
Yes. And not only were me and Selena all over with the numbers, when it comes to the drawings, I laughed so doggone hard. I laughed so hard. I'm laying there with my earbuds on, so I don't have to listen to Forensic Files. And I had my belly laughs to where my computer screen was moving, and then looking at Kevin to make sure that I didn't wake him up.
That's funny.
And also, he went to sleep with his hand. With his hand around me like this. That's how he's asleep, with my left hand. So I would have to ease it up to do any typing. And he stayed that way for about an hour, holding my wrist, which is a good thing. But so yeah, I look for everybody, and I'm glad that sometimes I think you're just led to different people at different times. And for some reason, last night I looked up at the notifications, and Mama Kay's jumped up there. I'm like, oh, let me go check out Mama Kay. And get in there, and there's Patsy Crafty and Kathleen and Selena and Joe come in. And I don't want to leave anybody out. Patsy Crafty, Joe, Selena, Lynn B. Oh goodness, some of our regular ones, and then some that are new.
Mm-hmm.
And I told Casey I want him to drop some links I want Ricardo's. I want to start pushing Ricardo's channel.
Mm-hmm. Good morning, Paranormal Voices. Good morning to you. Good morning, Paranormal Voices. Good morning to you.
You guys, I should have listened. I did get up early, and I had this already set up. But
we got Raven on. Good morning to Raven. Good morning to you. Good morning to Raven. Good morning to you.
I visited Ravens last night and saw some of the goodies that she has. She has some very pretty things, and she had some fans, and one of them, a few things look just like Casey Raven. That looks stuff he has in his bedroom. And paranormal, that's what Traci does.
Just my thank you for you coming on.
She sings through the pain, and I guess I grin. So, and I didn't realize till recently that when I grin, Casey used to say all you could see was teeth, and you couldn't see my eyes because they squinched up. But I did not know. I have a rabbit nose when I smile. I know I don't have much on me, but I didn't know my nose crinkled up when I did it.
That's funny.
Look. Have you got your lips on this morning?
Yes, I do. I have April lips on this morning.
Okay. So you done your lips.
I got.
See? Oh, you look like Time Daily when you do that.
Got little eyes on.
But you guys, I had to do mine. So, yes. I got my hair did yesterday.
I think it looks amazing.
I got it chopped up yesterday. She fixed the bangs. She said I just didn't have enough of them. So, oh, okay.
Your hair is pretty thin though, isn't it, Norm? I mean, like mine is thin, and so it's hard to know. You don't want to cut too many bangs when you go whacking at your own hair, but you don't want to.
Yep. So does it look thicker?
I love it. I absolutely love it.
And see, as it grows, it's going to have those long layers in it. Thank you. So see, where's my redheaded vixen? Where's she at?
She had some things to do. She said she had some insurance stuff to do, and then she was going to come on, but it would be a little bit late. Good morning, DebbieDoesSales. Good morning to you. Good morning, DebbieDoesSales. Good morning to you.
All right. Because I set this up with because
Blandean. Oh. Good morning, Blandean. Good morning to you. Good morning, Blandean. Good morning to you. So you set this up.
Oh, Blandean was there last night too.
Was she?
I should have sent you a message to Traci. If you're not sleeping, you need to come here. That's what I should have done, just in case that you wasn't asleep. And you guys, I fell asleep with I hope I wasn't talking to nobody. I went to sleep with my darn computer on my lap. Mama Kay, let me tell you, these bangs, if you would have seen them before that beautician got to them last week or so, even I had to make fun of them. They were
a little out there.
Yeah, we all went there.
Good morning to Alma. Good morning to you. Good morning to Alma. Good morning to you.
Alma, I laughed. I also went to one of her sons. What's her son's name? I know his channel name.
Batman the Flipper. Alex.
I went to his latest upload. I laughed again. God knew, because we needed so much prayer yesterday, and I was just adding the prayers, and then I would add them to Joe's prayer angels and all. And then when I went on YouTube, I was looking down and I touched base with Ravens. I watch her. When I watch Alex, when I saw that, what's the other name? What? Is he going to be in a hurry this morning? Darlene's hubby's going to be in LaGrange, which is right up the road. What is the other guy's name? He is it? I forget. But he's always on with Alex. But when he had one of those megaphone things, and he was going through the house with the megaphone, sneaking up on these young boys sleeping to get them up so they could help with their yard sale type thing they had set up. I laughed because the teenagers don't like to get up Oscar. They don't like to get up anyway. Then he was going in there while he's filming them, how they wake up. And I laughed at these boys, the teenagers. And it was so funny. And I had to leave a message And I told Alex, I said, that is too funny. He said, but do you blame us or blame me? I said, no. I said, and that's what I left. I said, when my kids were younger, I didn't need anything extra. I would go through the house singing, rise and shine and give God the
The
glory,
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 rise
rise
and
and shine.
shine and give God the glory, glory. And I'd get like this, how I do it. Rise and shine and give God the glory, glory, children.
Children of the Lord.
And then they would kind of, oh my, and they'd be, Mom, please stop. And then I'd go to the next verse. The Lord told Noah to fill him an arky.
You keep singing until they get up. I bet that did work. I should have thought of that.
I mean, so the joy of the Lord, I would wake up, but the kids would love to hear me sing at night because it was a calmer thing. And in the mornings, I was, hey, Alma, you know what? What they'll have to do one morning, I'll come. It brought Casey out of the bedroom. It was like,
You heard that music. He was like, oh no, memories, childhood
Alma,
memories.
what you're going to have to do, Alma, is, or I'll send a message or you tell them, next time you get Miss Darlene and you turn her real loud up and I'll sing them boys up, I won't even need a megaphone. And they're going to be, they'll probably cuss in Spanish and I won't know what they're saying. So, Alma, but yes, I would so do that. And Alex knows that I would do that. But yes, I woke up this morning and thinking of things, and I get sometimes I wake up. Casey said, Mom, you're just having my day today. Wake up with anxieties, not know where it comes from. Well, so of all things, I had it, power and prayer. And we had yesterday, we had a lot of people prayer requests for it. Mm-hmm. So today, I'm going to put what I'm going to read from, and Tracy's always got her Bible somewhere close, and this is going to be the scripture. Oh. All right, and I will read what this one says. Well, you guys have to get me on recording, so when they don't, put my voice to the megaphone. They'll start getting up. Express faith in God's ability. So, you guys that's telling on me, I should not have come from my lawyer crying. I should have just let go and let God. But it says, sovereign Lord, you have made the heavens and the earth by your great power and outstretched arm. Nothing is too hard for you. And it said, end your prayer time by reminding yourself of God's ability. Return to praise and make your faith declarations. So this is my form of praise. Say yours is the kingdom. All rule belongs to you. Yours is the power. Almightiness flows from you. Yours is the glory. Your victory shall be complete, God. That's how that's how we should do our prayers, So you read from yours, Tracy.
My Lord God, you made the heavens and the earth with your great power and your outstretched arm. Nothing is too difficult for you. You continue your kindness through 1,000 generations, but you repay the ancestors' guilt upon their children who follow them. Guess, great and mighty God, whose name is Lord of hosts.
So, this morning, My son came out of his room, gave me a big bear hug, and then that started me crying again. And his mama was wrong, and then we go sit out on the front porch, and like I told Tracy, then we sit out there and talk for a little bit, and then he comes in. Let me show you something, Mama. Let me show this what I'm gonna be like when I get old. And he pulled up some clips from Mad TV. So I sit there laughing. I said, Casey, I said, one of the clips was so funny because the woman was showed her in like an emergency room, and this young woman's husband had bungee jumped and the rope broke. And this, and in the skit, the old woman is talking to her, and it was so funny because, and it sounded, I swear. Then she gets up when the man comes out, and he's in a full body cast. She was like, "Well, how do you feel now? How old do you feel now? Because you look like you're 90." And she said, "Who are you here to see?" She said, "Nobody. I just come to cheer people up." She said, and then she got up and started this little dance and this a skiggly doodly doo and doing this little. And I told Casey, I said, Casey, I could see you and I in the hospital waiting room. Casey said, Mom, I would film her. I said, no, what you would do, you would get up and move. And you would film how I was having to sit there looking at the woman and looking at you for help. Because I would not be rude. I would be the one because, to sit there and talk to the woman. And as she would get up and dance, yes, I would tell her good job, and Casey would be filming me. But
that's so funny.
So when we get sometimes anxiety, God brings it back around. And yesterday, Casey asked me to pray for him, but didn't want me to tell him what I was praying for and out loud. And so the things that I prayed over him, that's exactly what, God gave him boldness and clarity for him to do that yesterday.
Good morning to Willow. Good morning to you. Good morning to Willow. Good morning to you. Good morning, Willow.
You guys, we are going to claim healing on LizzAnn's granddaughter. We are going to claim that the little brother won't be worried because Mom and Dad are like 2 hours away at staying at the hospital with the granddaughter, with LizzAnn's granddaughter that's been very, very sick. Happy Thursday.
Good morning, Anamora. Good morning to you. Good morning, Anamora. Good morning to you.
Just so everybody knows, the singing started with Anamora. And it goes back to Hit Flippin' Mama Kelly. She, when I used to go to her morning, I used to flip open my laptop when Kevin would head out the door and watch Kelly back then. And she always sang Anamora. And so it started with that, Tracy. That's how it started. And so then you started singing to everybody.
Well, we can't just sing to one person now. We have to sing to everybody, make everyone feel welcome. But nothing against you, Anamora, because we do love you, but, we got to do... Willow, what did the ER have to say? Were they able to help you?
Thank you, Anna. Oh, Willow. Okay, Willow. I'm sitting on edge. Have you heard anything? Is she still there? When you update, I'll highlight you again. You know, Kevin was watching TV last night, but as soon as I saw a FaceTime coming through, I told him, I said, that's LizzAnn. I said, mute the TV. And so, yeah, LizzAnn, we were able to talk face to face.
She was having an acute gastric episode.
Ooh.
Man.
You know what?
She's home and in bed. Well, I hope she gets rest and gets to feeling better.
Yeah, because I know sometimes people say, oh, that's nothing. No, when you've ever been bent over because you feel like your lower guts is what, my mom and them always called it. But when you have that lower gastric problems, you will feel like something has doubled you over and won't let you go. I got out of the car like that yesterday. When MawMaw was on the porch from her doctor visit, I made sure she got on the porch and sat down for me to pull the car around. I went to get out of the car, and all of a sudden, my lower abdomen done that. It just grabbed, and I'm like, and I always say, oh, God.
Hiatal hernia.
I had one way up.
Yeah.
I had a umbilical hernia that they repaired when I had my tubes tied. So yes,
that's miserable. It is miserable when you feel in.
It scared me because I was doubled over to get out of the car, and I'm like, oh, and I'm like, the door's open, and I'm trying, and it's bad enough when I first get out of the car, but then I'm like, oh God, what if I can't stand up? And then all I would know to do would be holler for MawMaw, which would have to holler for Casey.
Oh my goodness. Willow. We will definitely pray for her.
Girl, I have my gallbladder out.
Me too.
My husband gets in one spot, he gets cramps that are so severe. He's had me take him to the ER. And when my husband goes to a doctor or says, take me to the ER, and he breaks out in a sweat,
the world's about to swallow him up if he asks to go.
They can't find it. They'll say, well, we don't see anything. Maybe you're constipated, maybe this, maybe that, and that's embarrassing to him. What?
Oh, yeah, it's kind of important. You get those meds, and you gotta make sure you're taking them all the time.
I always feel like, Emma, I'm going to miss somebody.
That's why I write them down. Seriously, that's why I write them down, because I don't want to miss singing to somebody and have them feel like I intentionally left them out. I guess that's the worst. That would be the worst thing. LizzAnn! Yay!
Hey, everybody. How y'all doing?
Good.
How
are you doing?
I'm doing well, thank you.
Did you show that little? Did you show that little man that picture last night of the puppy asleep on me?
Yes. He thought it was hilarious.
He
Awesome,
he's a
hilarious.
little hoot. I tell you what. He was
Yes, he is.
he was amazed, Tracy, when LizzAnn told him, "Oh, she has friends from here and really." And
Aw.
just in the United States, and I didn't get a chance to tell them. I got thinking about it. I said, "Wait, UK,
Yeah.
Singapore, Ireland,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Wales,
Yeah. I think I told
Australia."
him afterwards that you had friends all over the world.
We
Yeah.
and we don't think about it, but we do.
No, we don't. Yeah, that's true.
Mm.
That's true. Good point.
So, what have you heard this morning?
Well, I just know that they moved her out of the ICU into a regular room
That's good
on
news.
what they call the fun floor. Now, when I spoke with my daughter a little while ago, she says I haven't found anything fun about the floor yet.
Mm.
But anyway, that's what they were saying yesterday is that whenever you get before you go home and you get out of here, you will be going to the fifth floor, which is the fun floor, because there's an opportunity to play with things and whatnot. You don't have to stay confined to your bed,
Yeah.
and that sort of thing. Depending on you and your circumstances, of course. Now, I don't know that Sally's had an opportunity to explore the fun floor yet because they moved her in the middle of the night. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, yeah, this has been well, we all get a wake up call sometimes, but
Yeah, but what a
it's been
scary thing.
oh,
Oh my goodness.
definitely, definitely.
I had just told Mama Kay what she went through with her gallbladder. It's misdiagnosis, and it's awful. It's
Yeah,
like what Tracy's going through.
yeah, and then when you get the diagnosis, if you're someplace where they can't do anything about it, that's even worse. Because
Mm-hmm.
that's basically what be with pediatrics. It's a whole different field than adult medicine,
Right.
and in a lot of smaller areas, there's not facilities available. There might be a pediatrician doing a general practice, or something like that, or a bunch of those, but to have um, the facilities to deal with emergency situations such as the ketoacidosis, you just it's not one of those things that's just right there, and you find this out the hard way. And
Mm-hmm.
fortunately, and then God's blessings in all of this is that it wasn't too late. There's sometimes that it can be
Definitely.
too late, and that's sad. It's terrible that could happen, but it really is a wake up call for a lot of things. For like to kind of promote care services in your area. That you find don't exist. Try to I don't know. Try to encourage. Of course, now there's this thing called I guess I've never. This is not an official term, and I've never heard anybody say it, but a patient to need ratio. I'm sure that they have to look
Mm-hmm.
at when they're planning a services to an area, but still, seems like you would have a pediatrics floor or special, somebody on the staff.
Yes,
But
why do these
Mm-hmm.
hospitals not know how to deal with trauma? I mean,
it's yeah,
big hospitals in your area, and I
emergency
say area,
rooms.
I'm talking
Yeah,
30, 40 minutes away. Why do they not know how to deal with trauma? And
well, when my
trauma
dad was in
being,
his accident, the trauma situation from that accident, he had to be rushed from our area by helicopter again. Well, this time it was to Galveston because that's where they had a space for him for his
Mm-hmm.
type of trauma. And even with that, it just that type of need just wasn't here. Now, maybe it's a small percentage of the needs of a population. I really don't know. It depends on where you are, I guess. But I'm sure that the services that are given is totally related to what they expect to deal with, people to come across and it's, you're going to have the more common stuff that they're going to be able to address, but the unusual things, it's unfortunate that sometimes just the trip is too far.
Well,
Mm-hmm.
what I found with like when Tiffany had my grandson Joey, I knew he had allergies because about the same time my allergies would start, he would start getting sick. And when he's a baby, well, we don't like to diagnose them as having allergies, or we don't want to diagnose the child as having asthma. So I kept telling Tiffany, I said, okay, he's getting sick in the spring and fall. So when he was little, I'd tell him, I said, well, about time you guys start taking that medicine, Nanny too. I said, you see all those yellow flowers out there, those pretty yellow flowers? And he said, yeah, I see them, Nanny. I said, those are called goldenrods. And I said, they're pretty, but I said too, they make us sick.
Yeah.
And it's true. And they're around the back of our house. They're taller than me because, I don't do yard work, and I used to take care of stuff like that. And they're in their ditch line, and I told Keegan, I said, that's
the good thing. The good thing is, didn't mean to interrupt, but the good thing that I keep thinking is that at the children's hospital, typically, they're so much more equipped to treat your granddaughter like she is her own person and to educate her about her situation so that she feels like not the object they're talking about, but part of the conversation. I love it.
My granddaughter was talking about that this morning.
I love your hair.
I set it up to where they could FaceTime. Landon could FaceTime with his sister and everybody over there. And in the process, my granddaughter said she overheard that her mom and dad talking. And she says, I hate it when they talk about me.
Oh.
And I was like, oh, poor thing. She's right. I'm in the room,
Yeah.
But,
good morning.
Yeah. And you don't
Good morning, Debbie.
You don't need to do
good
it. Hey,
morning,
Miss Debbie, how are
LizzAnn.
you?
Huh?
Uh-oh.
Good morning to Dawn. Good morning to you. Good morning to Dawn. Good morning to you.
Welcome, Dawn. This is my new friend I met last night during all the silliness, you guys.
I love your hair.
Tracy's the singer. And Debbie's the silly.
Silly.
I don't even know what's it. Well, right now, LizzAnn is dealing with her granddaughter. But ordinarily, she sits there and looks serious. Until
I don't know. She can giggle a pretty good one.
Yes. And then her and Dwayne. Oh, look how pretty.
Look at all the pink you got now, Debbie. You're doing good.
Woo-hoo.
Dawn, I want to invite you, introduce you to Debbie. I love it.
I love it.
I love it.
Did I see pink hair? Yes, I do.
Yes, you missed it. She did. She did her whole show in the beauty shop, and we all sit there like entertainment, waiting for hair to change.
Yeah.
And Bob had a ball. My husband had a ball.
Okay, Debbie, you inspired me. Look, Debbie.
I know. I said, I love your hair, darling. It's gorgeous.
It's very cute.
I'm going to take a screenshot of that when we're done, or if I can get it before then, I'm going to take it down to Maria and Char. She will love it. I went in to see Maria yesterday, and she was doing this to my hair. You got to do this. I said, Maria,
Debbie, are you muted?
What do you think, Liz?
All right, Debbie, put your glasses on. I want to see those funky glasses.
No, the other ones. The heart one.
Okay.
You mean the ones that match Penelope?
Yeah, Penelope glasses.
Unmute yourself, Debbie.
Oh, am I muted? I didn't mute.
Oh,
you're good. You're good. You're good now.
She's
Oh
adorable.
my God.
It's so stinking cute.
You're twins. You're
I
twins.
found these at Dollar Tree yesterday.
That is so cute.
See,
Oh, that's adorable.
LizzAnn's been going through so much that I didn't think about that she didn't get to see. She wasn't on that day because she had so much going on. LizzAnn, I said, some people say, "Oh, should have been born a natural redhead." If God had a made of pink hair, it would have been Debbie. I'm serious.
In a way, God did this because He
does
gave
look
us
good
technology.
on her. It does look good on her. She did
That's
say
right.
she was going to do pink hair.
Yes, she did.
I told her it looks like she's in her 30s. I mean, oh my gosh.
That is so cool. That is so cool.
Dawn, you guys, I was on Mama Kay's last night, her and her mom, and I thought they were sisters or friends, and it was mother and daughter, and I'm like,
oh, awesome.
What? Hello. Really? So I met Dawn, and Patsy Crafty told them, if you go to their channel, you'll get sung to, and then, so that is, I'm blessed that that's how people see what we do in the mornings. And I tell everybody, I said, yes, Traci sings, and she sings through her pain.
It's therapy. It's therapy
we do
for
have
me.
A welcoming format that's different.
Yep, and it's therapy for me. It is really, truly therapy. I got to get a coffee refill.
You're excused. It's okay.
Willow, Debbie needs your address.
She won. She was one of the winners. I went back through the.
Why isn't she? Hi, Debbie.
Hi, Liz.
What's the problem? Why can't we hear you?
Why can't you hear me?
Tell
Can you
us.
guys hear me?
What? I can't hear you.
I can.
You can't hear me, but they can.
It must just be my phone connection because sometimes it's.
Yeah, yours is like coming in and out. Kay, I am a natural blonde too, and what I do is I show, and these licenses are about. I mean, yeah, it's probably from the last time I had my license, but they say you're supposed to cover it up.
What are you doing, Debbie? I can't read it.
Liz, I love. We hear you, Debbie.
I love you too. I love you too.
Look.
Oh, I love you
too. I did not do good last night at Pictionary. You got
Pictionary, yeah.
Mama Kay would tell you, and Dawn would tell you. I was awful last night. All right, Mama Kay. That's me.
Thank you, Dawn. Oh my goodness, what a difference.
That's my color.
There you go.
And that's the color that MawMaw always wants me to go back to. And when I turned 50, I went back red. I was red in my 30s, and I went back red. And I said, you know what? When I hit 60, I might do like Debbie, but I want purple. I called it the old lady purple color.
Well, yeah, because when you get old,
where's the gray with the
But
tint?
you know, I told the girls at work, all these, I said, look, it's just hair.
Exactly.
And I said, why do people put when you get older in a like, oh, you can't wear this or you can't wear that? No.
A certain category.
I never listen to Kent's because you know what? Old man Kent died a long time ago. So did his wife.
I refuse to be categorized.
But Debbie, I'm not lying. I wasn't sure how it was going to turn out.
Neither was I.
I did not know it was going to turn out that beautiful. Oh,
not everybody pull that off.
There's kind, courteous, and lovable.
Good morning to Bob. Good morning to you. Good morning to Bob. Good morning to you.
Where's my sunglasses? Woo. Let me look through. Bob.
You should have seen
I
me
can't contain myself. You guys, for the new people, Bob gets better looking every day.
Yeah.
There you go.
But you should have seen me last night.
Yeah.
He went in and cleaned it up and cut it up.
I went in there and had a go to meeting thing.
You guys are am I lagging? Because
Nope.
I don't know. You're not to me,
Not to me.
but that's
Not to
today.
me. Not to Bob. Bob's
And
going
I'm on the
to
phone. So,
school.
yeah.
I have a meeting this
Yeah, it's
morning.
been kind of crazy. Yeah.
I won't be here long.
I want to tell you, Darlene, that I want to tell you thank you for talking with my grandson last night. He that was extra special to him, and he's been needing a pick-me-up. And we talked to Mom and Dad and Sally 3 times yesterday in about a 4-hour period. So but he's like any child in this situation, he misses them very much.
Absolutely.
He misses them so much. He slept in Mom and Dad's bed last night.
Aww.
That was good for both
So
of them.
he was supposed to sleep in his top bunk, and I was supposed to sleep in his bottom bunk. No, I did not sleep in the top bunk since he slept in the other room.
Yeah, he got his face so close to the camera, and I said, "Oh, you got glasses like mine?" And I showed him my glasses, and he said, "Yeah, they are kind of alike." But
it's hard, and he's got to be worried about his sister.
He is. I asked him if it bothered him at school yesterday, and he said, "Well, I did think about it, and it was on my mind, but it didn't stop me from doing my best."
Aww.
In my classes. So I was happy to hear that. And one of his teachers is a member of our sister congregation here, and our part of our religious education program right now, we're sharing with each other. We're meeting with them, or they're meeting with us, depending on what the group is and whatever. But anyway, so last night he went to the event over at their church, and his one of his teachers is one of the teachers there, and she was his teacher last night, so he got to tell her what was going on.
Yeah.
And so she told me that she would pass the word on to the other teachers and let them know to be on the lookout for him. She's been putting up signs. I couldn't read it.
She was at her email address for Willow.
Yeah, Willow.
Okay, cool.
DebbieDoesSales.
Yeah,
all over Gmail.
So it's been interesting. I've been trying to do extra special things with him since I got home yesterday, so that I've been interested in the coin collecting lately and the coin roll hunting, and I've been introducing he and his sister to that, looking for special the state quarters and the national parks quarters and things like that.
How old is your sister?
So when I picked him up yesterday from
she's 9.
Anyway, when I picked him up, I showed him that I had picked up some quarters. So I picked up 3 rolls of quarters, and I said, when we get home after midweek, we're gonna do some. He says, we're gonna do some quarters.
Yay!
So we did some quarters last night before we went to bed. He usually goes to bed at a certain time. I said, when we were at that time and we weren't finished, I said, I don't think Mom's going to care if you kind of finish this roll, because we told her we were going to do 1 roll.
Well, I will get some. What I'm going to do is get some pins, find some pins, and I told you I have that map on my wall.
Oh yeah.
And I will put a pin, LizzAnn, where you live, and I will do like a little short video and upload it, so you can show him what my map looks like.
Oh, cool. Yeah, you could do that as a private.
I'll do that. I'll do that day for
upload.
him.
Thank you. You can do that as a private upload, and then just send me the link to that, and that way it's not a public thing.
For everything that's going on, I really look for an appropriate thumbnail, and I do. I think I know it's not just throwing up a broadcast, a live broadcast. I really try to put thought in it.
Yes.
But the thumbnail that I come across, it says, Father God, it matters to us that you are here in times of troubles and in sadness. May we feel your love wrapped around us during these trying times. Amen. And
yes,
I know, they said, well, when you do your thumbnails, make it to where people will come. And I know some people may think, well, you're starting it out kind of sad. No, it's been a week of troubles. It's been a week of pain, and it popped up on my thing of I'm trying to think of his name. His mom passed away, and he did a short clip and said, "Pray for me. I'm about to go to the wake of my mother," and that's why we're in the Porch Church Prayer Network. And he's one of the resellers. I just right now, my mind
Red Neckerson sales. Red Neckerson. Red Neckerson.
And what's strange, you guys, is I've never had one of his notifications pop up. I haven't had one of the notifications of Mama K's pop up. And then it's like I did. And so yeah, you guys pray for him and for the grandbaby, and
thank you.
Always.
Well, like I've said before, we all have things in our life that come as a shock or create interesting situations where there are trials and tribulations, basically. And it's, my set of them is one thing, someone else's is another, but in it all, it's all about our faith in God carrying us through, whether we get healed of it and it goes away, or whether we endure through it, because sometimes, because of sin in the world, we have to put up with our failing bodies and the fallen creation around us that contains these germs and items that cause these problems among us. But through it all, it's God's there with us, whether it's taking the pain away or the challenge away or carrying us through it. And that's, it's, calm me through this storm, basically. Sometimes he calms the storms. Sometimes he calms his children. So we look to him for our strength and our encouragement. And he sends that through his word and through our friends and family who support us in these situations. And so I've been feeling the love, and I appreciate everybody, their prayers and their comments and their concern in my world. And I my family really appreciates it. And my heart goes out to everyone. And I just love y'all so much. Thank you.
You're welcome. And we will continue to pray her home, and through the education. This
is going to be
this is lifelong. Yeah,
this is a life-changing deal. And what I think is really cool, of course, right now nobody's had to put anything into practice for themselves personally yet, but my grandson he's talking a very good support for his sister. And he says, yeah, I know we're going to all have to try things and eat things that maybe we didn't eat before. He says, I'm not going to like it, but I'll try.
That's sweet.
Yeah, he's been trying to be there for his sister. So I'm very proud of him for. We're just calling it, we're the A team, basically, where all 6 of us are going to be working together, on this. And,
absolutely.
Because it is a team effort. If you support each other, it helps a lot.
It's difficult.
And we're not unique in that. Everybody has to have, their team, so to speak. People who support them whether that's right there in their home or if it's someone across the country that you can talk to by way of this wonderful thing called the internet, you know, and everything. And that's one of the wonderful things about YouTube and Facebook and some of these other things, that Instagram, that you can communicate with people in ways you never could before.
Good morning, Mystic Days. Good morning to you. Good morning, Mystic Days. Good morning to you.
Hey, Mystic. How you doing? So how are you doing, Traci?
Yesterday's, I think if you got that update, yesterday's doctor appointment was kind of a bust. I'm going to call my primary care and I'm going to ask them to find a different hematologist to make a appointment for a second opinion, because he just kept saying, I don't know why you're here. And I thought, I said to him finally, I'm like, I did not refer myself. My primary care doctor had me all worked up and all worried about this situation. And now you're kind of blowing me off and I'm not liking it. And he's like, well, they did more blood work and they wanted me to schedule a follow-up appointment. And I told them no, that if the blood work came back and there was something he felt he needed to treat, then I would consider coming back. But I think I would consider going to a different hematologist that would have a little more sense.
Yeah.
Common sense.
On board the fact that you were there for a reason.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't refer myself. I came because my primary doctor sent me for a reason.
Right.
Good morning, Jennifer Hayes. Good morning to you. Good morning, Jennifer Hayes. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Jen.
Okay, I can't type fast enough. Mystic, I want to tell you, and you guys, I'm kind of, what I'm hearing is delayed. I'm hearing what they're hearing because, see, right now I'm hearing her sing to Jennifer because my computer's acting crazy. But Mystic, let me tell you, last night I was on a channel and I had to set up the broadcast real quick so that way I wouldn't have to do it this morning. Well, I always set it up in StreamYard. Then I go back and I add stuff on YouTube. And as soon as it pulled up, there's 5-speed. And I'm like, what? And he was like, good morning. I forget his exact words. And it was like, I have to work tomorrow. Let me see if I can go all the way back. No, I can't. But anyway, he was pretty much saying, good morning. I have to work tomorrow. Have a good day. That touched my heart so much that he took the time to do that. I mean, it's the little, you guys, they're not little things. We all say, well, it's the little things that matter. They're not really little things. When somebody, shows you that how much they think of you, or like, I don't know what I bring to it except my mouth.
You bring a lot, darling.
Yes, you do.
Oh yeah, your personality, girlfriend. I tell you what.
And Traci, brings the songs, and LizzAnn brings that little part of, you think I'm just quiet, just wait until I get started. And Debbie's my firecracker, you guys. Debbie's my firecracker.
Yep.
USO show. Can't you guys see Debbie like back in the 50s or 40s going to the USO shows?
Wait do you see the lime green polka dotted black dress I got?
Oh boy.
It's a full skirt and it's from the 50s.
And then you guys in the chat, you guys bring so much.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely.
It's the interaction and all the characters, so to speak, in the program, in the play that make the play.
I'll tell you, it's fun because we're from all over the place. We're
I
not.
wish I could see the chat.
Oh, I can't wait to see. You're gonna have to Friday tomorrow. You should wear it.
What, the dress?
Let's see. Tomorrow's Friday already. Tomorrow's my daughter's birthday. The one that's
at the hospital. Aw.
Yeah.
You guys, one Halloween for the different daycares that I worked at, I would dress up. I dressed up like the bunny one time. I had the ears and I did my nose, and I went around to 3 different daycares and handed stuff out. And then one Halloween, I dressed up like Minnie Mouse, and I had the ears, and I had a black dress that kind of flowed out. I had the little white gloves that I found, and I did the black around my face and went around, and I was Minnie Mouse. And
awesome.
I just, I've always tried to just bring joy.
And you do.
And no matter how you were raised or whatever's happened in your life, we all process it differently.
That's
correct.
And just because I process it one way doesn't make somebody else's way any worse.
Right. Right.
You know, that's why my face, there I go, rub my hands when I get uncomfortable. All right, that's why when I almost did not do the Facebook group about suicide. I'm like, I don't want to seem sad. I don't want to make it look like, you know, poor me and I'm wanting attention. But yet I felt like that's what God wanted me to do.
Right.
Was to put that out there. And, you know, and then Anthony brought it up about, you know, he told people about it. And then that made me like, I felt like this, you guys, like, oh no, you know, but God wants me to be bold. God does not want me hiding anymore. Yeah. And yes, do I still break down and cry? And do I wake up with the anxieties this morning? Yes. Mystic, your buttons are sticking.
Debbie's trying to get your attention, darling. Debbie's
yes,
trying to get your attention.
It was Raven's birthday. May I sing a quick happy birthday without it being long?
Yes.
Okay. Just a minute. Just a minute. Just a minute. I got to get ready for this. You got to sit up there.
I'm having to listen again.
Are you ready now? Here we go, Raven. Happy, happy birthday, baby.
Penelope's got a lot to say this morning.
That's all.
That's all.
Sweet and short. Sort of like my hair, sweet and short.
Yeah.
I'm done now.
One day, you guys, I'm going to have to take a trip. And meet Mystic and his 2 cousins. And we will put that on YouTube, you guys. And we've got to figure out once Mystic's wife catches up on what she's making. She knits, and you know when she wears the headband thing, she knitted those. She made those or crocheted them, but she does the arm warmer things. You know, they're like half the hand arm warmer. I told her that we're going to figure out how I can pay her for some because I want some, you know, because my hands do hurt, you know. And last night when I was using that small mouse, I noticed that trigger finger. I didn't think I ever used it.
Yeah.
But
there you go. It was there, huh?
Oh, wait, that you guys don't live close together, Mystic?
Oh, man.
What you need to do is just go on a long
happened
trip.
To Penelope?
Come down to Texas, you know.
Penelope took a nosedive off your shoulder. What happened? Is she okay?
She gets wounded a lot.
5 Speed. Okay, I'm going to give this little movie I watched again on Netflix. I watched, what is it? Mary Poppins Returns. There's a song in there about judging a book by its cover and not reading the book. And it's so funny you said that, because they did a whole little skit in that movie about not judging a book by its cover. And you know, I've seen you show up on Mystic's channel. I've seen your brother too, and I'm like, ooh, they look like they just punked up a little bit. But there's nothing wrong with that. Okay, one lives in South Kentucky. All right, Mystic's in South Kentucky. 4 Speed's in Ohio, and 5 Speed's in, is that Pennsylvania?
Pennsylvania, yeah.
Oh gosh, I got to take a bus trip.
That'd take too long.
Find a central location for all of you to meet.
Or better yet, come down here and I'll drive us both.
But you know, it's good. We didn't have this. I wish I would have had this so I could have sat and talked to my sister, you know, years ago. And I told Keegan last night, I said, with all LizzAnn's been through, I think LizzAnn needed needed some face-to-face time. Oh, look at the pup.
I did with you last night. It was very important to me. And it touched my heart with you and Landon interacting. It made my evening. So I really appreciate it.
My little puppy.
Sometimes, yeah, I'm sure there came a point that you just needed to talk to somebody who was not directly involved in the situation.
Yes. Definitely. And not just like, right now our pastor is the what we call the vacancy pastor for the church that we were having the midweek classes at last night, and we had contacted him about it too. And in fact, at the time I talked to him, at that time it looked like Landon wasn't going to get to go because we hadn't gotten to that point where I was going to come home. And so we walked in and he says, I told everybody you weren't going to be here. I said, I'm sorry, but it felt good to talk to, to be welcomed there, but it also felt good to talk to Darlene because she was a friend and totally out of the circle of, the people in my life that are directly connected.
Right.
That was important to my grandson too. I know it was.
I felt like it was almost like you called me on the phone and I come over and I come to your house. Yeah. Like how we all wish we could, but we are able to. We are able to. We're able to now through Facebook or even through, you can set up a live stream and not make it, not go live with it and then just take
it offline. Yeah.
Yeah, you do it offline. So it's wonderful that everybody's able to do that. That's they did come out with you guys remember one time they came out with the phone that both of you had to have that phone, and it was like a small screen.
The Nextel.
Yeah. And I wasn't able to have that, and I used to think, I wish me and Sandra, I wish we had that kind of phone so we could see each other when we talk.
I had one, but only because of the job I had at the time, so that they could be in touch with me 24/7, which was the worst thing ever.
Yeah.
because they took full advantage of being able to just beat me 24/7.
Yeah. Yeah, that's never an easy thing.
And see,
Well, guys,
I
I
was,
hate to dump my stuff and go, but I do need to go. My husband just got back. We're having to do things a lot differently right now, and
Sure.
so I'm gonna have to go. But I love everybody, and I appreciate all the support and the
You're
prayers
in our
and the
hearts.
love, and I love all of you so much. And hang on, let me get my phone set
and
up
we
so
love
I
you,
can.
LizzAnn. We love
Thank
you.
you so much.
And you do
Appreciate your
best.
support. And Debbie, I don't know where you are, hon, but oh wait, she's invisible. Okay. The invisible Debbie with the pink hair. I love you, Deb.
Not my problem.
Y'all have a blessed day, and thank you again. And I'll try to pop back in a little bit, but no promises. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Y'all have
Love
a blessed
you.
day. And I love you too, and God's blessings on your weekend if I don't get to pop in tomorrow.
Okay.
And it's not all about me; it's about everybody. So y'all,
Well,
I love
Love
everybody,
you.
and I'm praying for you guys too.
okay. Love you.
Bye bye.
Mhm.
Bye bye, Deb.
More than all in the bill. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Well, see, Misty, everybody got to see you today. And I did look for you last night. I did look on, I was just, I was having to scroll through notifications. And I'm like, what, really? And I did go watch Barefoot Adventures. And it was his
Uh-huh.
wife talking. And his wife was showing their little adventure. So she done a very good job, and I left a comment and let him know that she did a great job. So maybe it was meant that I was able to visit some new people and visit, their content, because
Mhm.
sometimes, we like and watch a short video, and then we don't go back to see
Yeah.
much more of what they're like.
Mhm. That's why I think I've been trying lately. I've been trying to, when I sub to somebody's channel new, now I've been hitting the all bell thing so that I'm catching some of their new stuff and seeing what's up.
And this is what I think is going on with Netflix. You guys,
With Netflix.
that's all I do is Netflix. You feel like getting us a drink? Okay. But I really think YouTube is like the new people we sub to. Go, like I said yesterday, they go to the top.
Mhm.
So what we get in notifications are the new people that we're subbing to.
Mhm.
But if somebody comes to my mind, I just try to find a video and I pull their name up on YouTube and be like, oh,
Mhm.
wow, they did a video earlier today and I didn't even get to watch it.
Yeah. Good morning, Ghost Pirate. Good morning to you. Good morning, Ghost Pirate. Good morning to you.
You guys,
There she is.
I want everybody out there. Ricardo, put your actual link in. Put your link in. And I want you guys to visit Ghost Pirate. That is Ricardo. And he's one of our family. He is. I sent him a message last night and told him that he is family. And he's working hard at getting his 1,000. So he's trying to get his hours in. So he's doing a lot of videos. He's doing a lot of auctions and self-help things. So I want you guys to check him out. And, that's why I told him today, Ricardo, whether you showed up or not, I wanted to shout you out.
Mhm.
once you're here, you're family. Oh,
Good morning, the truth. Good morning to you. Good morning, the truth. Good morning to you.
thank you, the truth. I love when you come on. I love it. And yes, you give the truth. You guys, everybody knew the truth. He pops in with the truth, and then he pops out. But it's always good. It's always good for somebody to say praise Jesus, because that's one thing that I am not ashamed to say. Praise Jesus. Also, you see, Raven is your number 556. Ricardo, 556. Ricardo used to be what?
Storage pirate, but it got mixed with the other. There was a storage pirate spelled just slightly different with one E instead of two, and so he kept getting mixed up with him. And you want to be your own person and get the people to come to you and not.
I put something because I listened to Ricardo's video. I didn't catch him live. I was hoping I was going to, but he said something. Let me see because I put in there what I found in an adult coloring book. Because, he talked about, haters are going to hate, bullies are going to bully.
That's true.
And people will try to be like somebody else. Mm-hmm. Okay. All right, there's two different ones that I want to read or show. They had these at Ollie's. I think I showed everybody. All right. This says, let me make it big. I always say, let me make it big. All right. All right. It says, be yourself. Everyone else is already taken.
Okay. Yes.
I like that.
Mm-hmm.
So when Ricardo was talking about sometimes people want to try to be you, or they're jealous of you, and maybe they become trolls or put hateful things because of that. But I love this one too. Life is not about finding yourself. Life is about creating yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Amen.
Yeah, so
those would be so good for t-shirts, y'all.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
yourself. I mean, not to mass produce, but for yourselves.
Mm-hmm.
And so it doesn't mean that you have to create a whole different persona. No. Like I got my hair cut, Traci started wearing makeup, and Debbie done her hair pink. That's not trying to be anything but just be ourselves. Mm-hmm. And we all have that. We have a person inside of us. Norgus is my inward. She's a crazy little chick, you guys. My Norgus is a crazy little old chick. She came to me in California when I was a child. There was 6 kids. Mm-hmm. And so me and Norgus, we just hung out by ourselves. So I was the weird kid. I was the weird kid off to the side talking to my imaginary friend. And I had that imaginary friend. Yeah, that's being individual. And we are supposed to be individuals.
And it worked for you.
Mm-hmm. When she came back, it was because of my sister. When she said, do another Facebook. And I said, another one, Sandra? What do I do? I said, I already got one for Bonnie and Clyde, my raccoons. Mm-hmm. I said, who else has got? I'm serious. My raccoon has her own Facebook, you guys. And I said, what do I do, Sandra? And she said, Norgus. And I said, well, what's my last name going to be? And she said, Rodriguez. I said, well, okay. I live in California, so I married Hispanic, Ricardo. My Norgus did. And I'm like, well, okay, I was born in Upland in the hospital. We lived in San Bernardino. So I go through, you guys. I had to go through and find, I'm like, okay, what's my house going to look like? So I did the house. And I said my dog died. I have a dog. And I had a picture of a dog. Then I get into being creative. And a lot of people say, well, that's a troll account. No. I was still working at the time. I think that was God's way of allowing me to still have social media when my lawyer told me I couldn't have social media.
I think it was therapy, if you want to know my honest opinion.
And
this has been the best therapy for me, I'm telling you.
And that is when Norgus started coming out, when I would fiddle with that account. And it was just me and my sister. So my other sister felt left out. She was like, she sent me a message on my other account. She said,
what?
You have an account that says Norgus? And I'm like, I said, yes, but I didn't think you'd notice. And she said, why would I not notice? That was your imaginary friend forever. And I'm thinking, wait a minute, she's only 7 years older than me. So if I was 4 and 5 walking around talking to Norgus, she remembers that.
Why?
But yeah, 5-speed, we are. And if I'd not made that account, I would have been in more. I would have been even more.
If you're doing what I'm doing,
I would have, had my sister not told me that. Number 2, I wouldn't have already had a backup.
Come on, Sandy. Come on, Mama.
Okay, you guys, I hope you realize what you just did. It's all your fault, too.
Oh,
What?
Bob?
No, not Bob. Penelope. She says, why doesn't she have her own YouTube channel?
Uh-oh.
Why don't I have friends, Mom? I said, we'll get there. We'll get there. Okay, okay. Then she says, Mom, can I go with you today to the person's office that you're going to? And I just told her she could go. I'm glad I'm out of therapy.
Well, we never know what God's plans are, you guys.
That's right.
That's what Penelope said. She said that's the reason she's here, because nobody else wanted a child with pink hair. And I told her, it's okay, honey. Mommy loves you. And then the dog, yes, you've been a good boy. Yes, you have. Yes, I know.
The dog
is going nuts, huh?
Has Ruby warmed up to your hair at all yet?
Oh, heck no.
Nope.
Won't have nothing to do with it. I'm having to rebond with her all over again. She is so angry about this pink hair. She looks at me and she squawks. She'll step on my finger and step up in that.
Mm-hmm.
When she gets close to the hair, she flies away.
Oh my goodness.
You know, Ricardo, one thing with StreamYard, if you don't have anything up but StreamYard, and like my computer won't let me do both, I don't see the thumbs down. I don't
care about him. It's attention, and that's all that YouTube cares about.
Good morning, Denise. Good morning to you. Good morning, Denise. Good morning to you.
Can't go yet. Okay, guys. Well, we need to leave because we have an appointment in an hour, and it's an hour away. So I need to go. We love you. Penelope
love you.
Penelope says, kisses.
Kisses, Penelope and Debbie.
And from me, you guys, love everybody. Thank you so much for all your support.
Bob,
love you too.
Bob's in his room. Okay. Gotta just deal with him.
We sent this a special to Bob. Tell him I sent him a special one.
I will play it back for him later.
All right.
Okay, honeys.
These are for Bob.
Have a blessed day. Everybody, do your own thing, okay? It
Amen.
makes you feel good.
Oh, and I have on a pink shirt again.
I can tell. I got one on too.
Mine is pink too, but it's pink and gray, so it's hard to tell.
Tomorrow mine will have gray on it and pink. Talk to you
But
guys.
my undershirt is pink too, but you can't probably tell that either.
It's okay. It looks good. You look good. Feel better. Have fun. Enjoy
Thank
life.
you. Love you.
Love you too. See you guys. Bye.
Bye.
You guys, yes. And if it had not been for my sister while I was at work telling me to do the Facebook account that I had to fall back on.
Mm-hmm.
And then when it came to doing YouTube, I used to, with the jewelry community, I already had my regular one. And so one day I'm like, wait a minute. I want, when I start creating things, I want my brand, I want a brand. I want to be Norgus. So that brought out my creativity. That's how I can do hats. And that's how I see things differently. It's because the creativity part of me is Norgus. And I'm going to tell you guys, the judge I might just turn into Norgus when if the judge starts making me feel bad. I don't know. And I don't even worry about it, Ricardo, the up or down or
I don't either.
Because now the only thing that bothers me is when my friends get hacked. That everything gets hacked. I mean, I have a friend. I'm not going to name names. Their Facebook, their YouTube, their Macari. And when you got money tied up in an account like Macari and you're waiting for your money to be given to you. But yeah, that hits hard. Or when you're attacked like the Flippin Hustler, Todd.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
That
was serious.
Yes. But it's, so it is awful. And I did put and then I kind of wondered, should I have my PayPal on my account? But I did put it on my page. And I don't know why I've been told that you can't see that you can't see my email because I logged in under my other account. And if you hover over the email, you have to hover, then it's going to ask you, you guys sing to this beautiful man right here.
Good morning to Kevin. Good morning to you. Good morning to Kevin. Good morning to you.
5 Speed, that is my wonderful, hardworking husband. That is my hardworking, beautiful husband. And you guys, he's a messed up now. We have teased the dog that if we even hold hands or say, oh, my mama or my daddy, she barks. She starts nibbling like she's eating corn up his arm. And yeah, because Ricardo, you want your 1,000.
You would have been I'm sure you would have been long monetized by now if you would have been serious about it back then, but who knew? Just go forward from where you're at now and you'll get there. You will get there.
You guys, I pray that it doesn't get as humid and hot today because my husband, he works out in this. You'll see, I see the wind blowing. No, that's the air unit. You guys will see him come in and his shirt will already be soaked. Alma lives in Florida, I believe. And we live in Alabama, and it is still, you guys, it's still in the 90s, and this is October.
Dang. Yeah.
And
we had a warmer time, but now it is finally cooled up and we got to be falling. In fact, it is, my phone says it's 53 degrees right now. So I have sweatshirt with the arms. I'm like cold this morning, but I don't want to turn the heat on because I'm cheap.
well, I'm sitting here by the air vent, and because of my arthritis and whatever, I wear long sleeves because my shoulders will start hurting. But my husband, it's awful. It is really hard work, and that he does, and I appreciate it. So when you guys see, when you guys are going down the road, and I said this about truck drivers too. Oh, Raven.
Oh my goodness.
37. So when you guys see city workers that are working on the roads, and when you have snow and you see the plow people coming through and working hard in the cold, you see city workers going down in manholes and stuff. You know, just give a thanks and give a small prayer for that person for the job that they're doing. Because as a wife of a city worker that has to go down in manholes, that has to dig up stuff because there's a water main that has burst, and especially in the winter. You guys, in the winter, think about it. When these pipes burst, they have to get in this cold. So
good morning, Pearlini. Good morning to you. Good morning, Pearlini. Good morning to you.
good morning. Pearlini, it's your guys' fault. Yours and Mama's fault that I fell asleep with my laptop on my lap, and my husband had to tell me put it up at 4 o'clock this morning. Minnesota. Woo! You know, Raven, I can't take extreme cold. I can't take extreme cold, but I can't take extreme heat either anymore.
The cold hurts me, but the worst thing for me is when it is like it is right now, where it's cool, like in the low 50s, and it's drizzly rain, so it's wet. Everything is wet and cool, and it just goes all the way, aches all the way through to my bones.
Yeah. Or like in the South, in Alabama, when you could feel a storm coming, and the temperature gets a certain way, and then you start feeling it in your bones. That, you know, now people used to think old people's, oh my gosh, there's Aunt so and so talking about her bones again. It's going to rain, but now
they're right most of the time.
We are on the Georgia line, and whenever we'd have tornadoes and stuff, it would say the counties. I would always count from the bottom up. So it is considered Chambers County if you look on the map. So it's like midway counting down and up. Close to your mom? Does your mom live in Alabama? But yeah, so they now, if you go to the Weather Channel, they have a little thing. Not only does it do it for pollen and stuff like that, but now they have it for the pain level. And that's, you know, it will show if you have arthritis, it will show what, you know, how
that's kind of cool.
And close to Chattanooga. Well, see, my husband, I don't know if he's still in here. He was a truck driver, drove all over the United States. And I think he and I visited somebody in Rome one time, when we were on his Harley. I said the other day, I said, not with crime. It has nothing to do with me being in any kind of trouble.
It's a social situation.
Yeah. All right. Is near Chattanooga, and Rome is next. Yeah. See, we lived in Atlanta, my husband and I, Misty, and that was when we were married a week. He comes home and he picks up the phone. That's back when it was hanging on the wall. He picks up the phone and calls the old trucking company he had left to move back home. And we married, and he got a job in the cotton mill. And he just come home one morning and he called his old boss. He said, "You got a truck for me to drive?" And they said, "Yeah." And he said, "Okay." He said, "I'll be there in the morning." He hung up the phone and he turned around and he looked at me. And then my little girl was 2 at that time. He looked at me and he said, "Well, I'm about to go to Atlanta. You could come or stay, but I'm going back to driving the truck." And I said, "Let me grab some stuff." So we kept our house, the little house we were renting. And I was working weekend shift. So anyway, I jumped in that car with that man. No thought whatsoever. And me and my baby and him, we took off to Atlanta that very night. We checked into a motel, and that's where we stayed until we got an apartment. And I've always followed my husband. I've always followed what was in his heart and what he wanted. And I remember going to Lookout Mountain too. You guys, I don't even know, you guys probably know now. But there would be times that I would get on that motorcycle with Kevin, and you guys, I would just be riding, looking down at the ground, and we'd be in all that Atlanta traffic. And I prayed. I was hugged on him, and I prayed all the time. And I would. And my boss, I ended up working for the same trucking company in Atlanta. He said one time, "You should be ashamed getting on the motorcycle. What if something happened to you? You have a baby, you have a child." And he was right. But I just, when I didn't have her, when my mom and them would come and get her, me and Kevin, I'd get on that motorcycle with them, and we would just ride. And you know what? All the things with his ex-wife we was going through, every bit of it just washed away, you guys. Getting on that motorcycle with him, no cares in the world. And yes, I prayed. And he was different then. So, that's all right. That's all right, Misty. You know what? And this is so bad. One time he had gotten a truck, and we would always come down on weekends to see MawMaw. We'd stay here. And we were headed back to Atlanta. And there was these people broke down on the side of the road. And they were on a motorcycle. So Kevin just pulls on over, And when we talk about 5-speed, you know, judging the book by its cover, Kevin was that book. And I saw, God allowed me to see beyond what he was when I first met him. God allowed me to see the man he was going to be. But the people look what we would say, rough, you know, they were on their Harley. So anyway, we pull over, and he says, "Well, I'll take you home." So he got that motorcycle up on the back of that truck and took them to Lawrenceville, I think it was, way out of our way, you guys, to complete strangers. You know, jumped in our pickup truck and yeah. And, you know, I did meet a lot of different bikers. And one of them that had such a kind heart was so good with my little girl. But he came from Romania. He was adopted. And he just looked so scary. He went by Mountain Man. And dark hair, and oh, he looked so mean, you know. And he said he would see at a stop sign, he would look over and he could just see the people saying, "Lock your doors, honey. Lock your doors." But when my little girl, and his wife's name was Randy, and she would get McDonald's toys. She worked at McDonald's. But I'm gonna tell you guys, when my little girl, when he would see her, oh, he would melt.
All right, 5-speed. Thank you for being in here this morning. We appreciate you more than you'll ever know.
Yes. So I was around a lot of people, and there was things that I did not want my daughter around. I didn't partake of none of it, but there were things that I saw, especially when she wouldn't be with us. And I told my husband I couldn't stay in it. And it wasn't anything that any of them were doing to me, but it was the lifestyle that was totally different from me. You guys have to understand, my husband left from there pretty wild, and he comes back married, not only married, but they called me a Bible thumper. And then the women, I know some of the women that would be nice to me, but one of them really acted funny to me. And another one told me, she said, because one night they said, "You want to go out with us? Our husband stayed out all night. We're going to show them. You want to go out with us?" And I said, "No." And one of them said, "No, her husband doesn't do that." They said, "Keegan doesn't do that." So, you know, I asked one of them, I said, "Well, what do I do wrong? What is it that," I said, "because I love her. What I like her company." And she said, "Darlene, you're the woman that we wish we could be. We wish we could get away from drugs. We wish we could be clean and sober." But I didn't push that. I just pushed like what you guys see right now. That was me even then. And I accepted everybody and all the truck drivers that came in, each and every one. You know, I was the same way to them. And, you know, it did hurt my feelings sometimes. But yet, and Kevin was very funny. No, if he went on a what do they call them when they go on the rides? They go on the like for Toys for Tots and stuff like that. So with his friends, you know, for those rides. But he didn't take me. He said because that's not who, he didn't want me around the whole. And then he stopped going. You know, little by little, it started catching up with him without me saying anything.
Mm-hmm.
What's a Bible thumper? Alma,
Oh.
I carried my Bible to work with me. To these roughnecks. A Bible thumper is a person that will outwardly say, I'm a Christian.
Mm-hmm.
That will outwardly say, I like going to church. And they would call it a Bible thumper. And one of them was so rough, and he would call me that, but so respectful. You guys, these men that would be so crass and hang out and do the things they did, and that's why Kevin did,
Slowly, yeah.
slowly got away from that. They would treat me with respect. They really did. And
I'm gonna go quick get another refill of my coffee.
all right, and I gotta check with Casey about Porch Church.
I'll be right back.
But yeah, Willow, and but he would call me that. But he put me, this same person that called me a Bible thumper, respected me so much. He really did, even though he didn't believe what I believed. And but they all respected me. And and we ended up moving back home because Kevin wanted a baby. And so we moved back home. We moved down here to get away from the lifestyle up there. And when I got pregnant with Casey, that was when, because I told Kevin the only way I would bring another child in the world was not to be around. It wasn't the people, you guys. Willow, you'll find out, because she's probably wanting to send you something. But yeah, it was, I wanted to be away from the drug scene in the 80s. You guys, in the 80s in Atlanta, methamphetamine was what was going around, was not what's going around now, where people are just taking Drano and all that. It was basically people getting their hands on Adderall, which is methamphetamine. So there was a lot of that going on. And so you got to think about it. If I didn't do all that, these people were rolling on it and they were wide open. And I'd be so tired. And, or to go in the bathroom, to use the bathroom, and oh my gosh, right there in plain view is cocaine or pills, and I just, that
you want to raise a baby around that.
No. And so, and yes, they were good people. They would do anything. Oh, Lynn. Yes, Lynn, I thought I told you last night. I did. I'll show you the back of it. I wanted a long shag, and she framed it to match she gave me some more bangs, and she done it to kind of frame around.
It's going to be cute as it grows out. It's going to be cute.
And I keep, like how I pull my hair back sometimes, and then when this comes back, I'm like, wait, I thought I just, but yeah, I like it. But yeah, the people were so kind to me. They never tried to get me to do anything. Not drink. They didn't try to, I didn't smoke pot. I didn't do any of it. And that's why it was like, oh my gosh, he can come back with the Bible thumper. Yeah. And when I met him, I had the tan going on, and I lost a lot of weight, too much, because of a bad marriage. I think I weighed 120 pounds. Never had been able to wear a bikini and all that kind of stuff. But by the time I got up there, somebody one time told Kevin, he said, you done married you what did he call me? A bedroom baby. And I'm like, but what he meant, because I was pale. I was pale as I am now because we didn't get out and I stayed in the house. Thank you, Denise. Thank you. So I stayed in the house, and that's why a bedroom bunny or something like that. And you know, it was a rough time with Kevin, you know, to have trust in a wife, because that was something he didn't have with his ex-wife and his girlfriend that he was engaged to. But, and you know what? Thank you, Denise. Do you know I never felt beautiful until I met Kevin? And I guess that's why Derek sometimes says I light up when I see that I have a whole different look. When I, see Kevin, I never felt beautiful. And my sister would tell me, I remember one time my uncle told me, you are so pretty. You'd be so much prettier if you lost a little bit of weight. And Uncle, I loved him. It's just that some people don't know what their words do. And I was always called fat, and I was called a lot of things growing up, Denise, and fat was one of them. Fat butt, which I don't have a butt, but my dad wouldn't say butt. He would say the cuss word, and it would be like, get your fat up out of bed and get some work done, you know. So, the first husband just would talk about, well, if you want her, you have her. Anytime somebody say how lucky he was to have a wife that cooked for him and done everything for him. And he would say, well, if you want her, you can have her. So until I met Kevin, there was something in Kevin's eyes when he saw me. You know what? I met him and his fiance or whatever. They were always on the men's and off and on again. But I had took so much for 2.5 years. My ex-husband told me, wouldn't nobody have me? Look in the mirror, and would you want to be seen with that? So along with my parents, what was in here from there, what was in there from, there was something. When I stopped by that one morning or one afternoon and to get MawMaw to ride with me, Francis, my friend Francis, used to ride with me to get a Father's Day gift for my husband. And we went, and that's the day I met Kevin. But there was something in his eyes. There was something, I guess, the way he looked at me. And on the way home that day, I was thinking, maybe somebody else would have me. Maybe I'm not hideous. Maybe. And you know what? The next morning, which was Father's Day, my ex-husband decided that he would pick that day to pick a fight with me and walk out on me and go move to his mom. He packed all this stuff in a duffel bag. And he had done it 3 times. That was the 3rd time. And I told him, if you leave me again, I will get divorce papers. So he was packing up his stuff. And I told him, I said, this is it. You walk out that door, there's no going back.
Mm-hmm.
Guys, I called MawMaw, which she wasn't my MawMaw. I went next door because I didn't have a phone. I went
Mm-hmm.
next door and asked if I could use it. The guy that ran the trailers, that we lived in one of the trailers, and I went over there and I called Francis, not my mom. I called Francis, and I was crying. She said, "What is wrong?" I said, "I ain't even say his name." I said, "He left," and I said, "Can we go? Can I come up there and let's go to the lake?" And she said, "Yes, come on." She said, "Come on." And I lived in Opelika, so I lived in the country. So it took about 15 minutes for me to get here. And then she and I went to the lake. And Kevin and his girlfriend just happened to be here when I got here. And we went to the lake. And Frances, being Frances, she said, "Well, baby, don't rush into anything. Don't rush into anything." I'd never really told her, talked about how bad, my marriage was, because you didn't talk about things, you guys.
Yeah, and you didn't back then.
I never, So I said, this is third time. I said, Francis, I said, one time I called my sister to come get me and Tiffany because he called my dad and said, come pick her up. I said, 3 strikes, you're out. I'm through. I said, who did your son use for a divorce? The next morning, which was a Monday morning, I went and started divorce proceedings. And it was not planned, but Kiva moved back home. Kiva moved back home, and his ex-girlfriend, but she wasn't ex yet because that was in June. And me and Kevin didn't start dating till like the end of July or whatever. But she swore up and down he and I already knew each other. But you know what? 33 years, you guys. 33 years. But I met Francis first.
Mm-hmm.
And my father-in-law that passed away. When he died, I was 10 years into the marriage. It hurt so bad. I couldn't console Kevin because it hurt my heart so bad. And I'm like, that's how it feels losing my father-in-law. How's it going to feel when I lose my dad? But even before Francis knew really how bad it was, and before I ever laid eyes on Kevin, my father-in-law walked in on me and Mama talking. And he said, if you need somewhere to live, you and your baby can come here. You guys, that's before I was ever a daughter-in-law. Before I was ever met Kevin. The heart of that man, that's the heart, that's the crawler. The heart of that man to say that and to do that for me. And I know he would have made a way for me to be here. So when I came into this marriage, it meant God did that. So I already had a relationship with the mother-in-law. I already had a relationship knowing that my father-in-law loved me before I became. I had to know that these people loved me for me before I married their son. That's what I had to have in my life. My sister-in-law, Karen, was a little old young thing. We had fun. We'd go places, me, her, and her mom. So I had MawMaw 3 months, and I bonded with her for 3 months. And that's what it took for me to be able to know real love from a mom and a dad. How I got started on this, but you know, I give love, and
you and Kevin are just like them now. Now you and Kevin are like they were back then.
we do. And when Kevin, my sister told me, my sister pulled me aside one time. Well, one sister called me and said, "Are you dating Kevin Crawley?" She said, "Have you not heard about him?" And then my other sister said, "Well, his brother used to be married to my best friend's sister. Do you not know?" I set both of them straight, but I really set my oldest sister straight. I said, "Let me tell you something. I found somebody that wants to be with me all the time. I just had one that would always want to give me away." And I said, "Irene, he makes me feel pretty. He makes me feel beautiful. And he wants to be seen with me. And he wants me all for himself." And I said, "So I don't care what you say. Well, you got a little girl to think about." I said, "Yeah, and he loves that little girl." I said, "The other one gave her away." She was a year old. He wanted the TV. He did not want my daughter. My husband said, before he was my husband, he said, "I'll be your daddy," because my ex said, "Well, you can let him be your daddy." He had never met my husband. He'd never met my boyfriend. So Kevin said, "I'll be that baby's daddy." And he would sit my little 1-year-old daughter on his lap and he would cry and say, "How can somebody not want this baby?" And that's the heart, you guys. That's the heart of my husband. That is the heart of this home. And so anybody out there that will come across this, and it goes with prayers, and it goes with don't judge a book by its cover. And you know, my son, we're going to have a Porch Church. My son's, you know, he preaches, he studies the Bible. There will be people that will tell you all kind of things about my son. It's nothing he ain't already said live on the Porch Church. He will tell you his faults. He will tell you. He's transparent. He tells you what he has to battle with. And what people doesn't know, and Lynn, he still gets told things that are said about him out in the YouTube world by people.
But he has that crawly heart inside of him too. And I just don't understand, other than that somebody is jealous that he's so loving and understanding of other people in this world, that they would ever say anything bad about him.
There's just cool people out there.
Yeah.
And as adults, we think, "Oh, don't pay any attention." And that's what I told him. But yet once he's told, then he tells me, I do pray about it. And I do tell him, "Don't worry about it." But it lingered with me the day that we were called basically trailer trash. That he's living with this mama and we're trailer trash. It didn't hurt my heart, you guys. It because to get to Casey, Alma, it would be like somebody talking about your son. You could talk about me all day long and I'll smile and I'll say, "God is good." You know, troll. God is good. You know, I had one time come in when I first started, say, your voice is really annoying. And I looked at it.
Oh, wow.
And I busted out laughing. I'm like, I got my first troll. And I clapped. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm bona fide. You know, I said, I'm bona fide. I'm a YouTuber. I got my first troll. They left. But last week, I was in the kitchen and it just would not get off of me. It stayed and stayed with me. And because it's the second attack Casey you guys has had using me, saying stuff about me. It doesn't hurt me, but they know the relationship Casey and I have. So, you know, I don't like somebody using me to hurt Casey. That and Casey has to take a step back. So you guys, sometimes when he has to take a step back, it's because of everything will just pile on. But this morning, after I cried and my anxieties was high, he said, well, Mama, I'll pray for you. And he took my hands in his and he prayed over me. Then we watched Mad TV and I got laughing. So he prayed over me and he's got his hands wet, but I say they're healing hands. He put my hands in his hands, and when he prayed for me, it helped. It eased my soul. And God says, be bold, be happy, share laughter, share Traci, share my new baby doll that's Debbie.
Oh my gosh, she's just been so much fun lately. She's always been fun, but she's just this whole, I'm gonna do this pink hair thing. It's been on my bucket list, and she just held on with both hands.
And our LizzAnn. It's called accepting people. It's called accepting people
for who they are.
The Addams family. If you think of the Addams family, if you think of the words, I always say we were the Addams family, and I used to sing it, the Crawley family, because they're quirky, they're different. And I have always embraced that. My daughter used to say, Mom, why do you attract these people? I said, what people? Mom, really? You don't see that they're different? I said, you know why? Because it worked. I said, nobody wants to sit by them. Nobody wants to talk to them. Those are the ones I'd sit by. Those are the ones that I talk to. And when 5 Speed, when I saw his comment last night, you guys, it touched my heart. Like I can't even explain it. I can't explain it. And when Mystic told me that that 4 Speed and 5 Speed listen to us, there's other people out there that listen. Oh, and Adams.
Yep, that's funny.
But yes, I love the Gookie. That's the word of the day. Is Gookie.
Yep.
Gookie. Sounds like a cookie when you bring them out and you know they got to harden up a little bit, but you can't stand it and you just scoop them up anyway and they're gooky. But,
we have to give me time to smoke.
Traci's got smoke, and I have to take the laptop. We have to move the laptop into the church room.
Yep.
Thank you guys for joining us this morning. You guys, please, if you're not subscribed to Ricardo or anybody else that has joined today, show them some love. We're all different. We're all different. And I love you guys.
But together we make a pretty great team.
Wait, let's do the wait, what do you call it? The homecoming queen in the parade wave. Yes, we'll do the wave. Bye, you guys. See you next door.
See you next door. Love you.